started the data handling process, and you covered quite a bit in Monday's lesson. So you did the first, second, and third of this diagram here, posing a question, collecting data, and organizing data. And I'm sure you might have remembered a lot of the stuff that was spoken about in your grade 8 and 9 data handling. If you did maths in grade 8 and 9, you would have covered a lot of it there. Well, we're going to continue with some old topics from those years in number 4 today, which is summarizing data. We're going to look at measures of central tendency. All right, mean, median, and mode. I'm sure you've heard them all before. If not, we're just going to revise and go through them briefly. And then the most important part of today is going to be practicing and building your skills so that when this question does come up in the exam, you don't have to hassle too much. You can find a way to quickly get through this section. So it's important to build skills in measures of central tendency because you're going to get a whole lot of data and you need to work with it, especially on your calculator. So it's important to build the skill of quickly getting through the calculations to get your answer. Some of these mean, median, mode questions are only 2 marks each, but you have to do a lot of calculator work to get them. So it's important that you practice the calculator skills today. It's tedious. There's a lot of numbers that you have to deal with, but you need to learn how to deal with those numbers on your calculator. So speed of the fingers on the calculator is the most important thing here. Being careful not to make a mistake, and I'll talk about that a little bit later when we get to that section. All right, so the 3 measures of central tendency we're going to talk about are obviously mean, median, and mode. All right. Can anyone in chat or turn your microphone on, raise your hand? Can you tell me, we should all know what the mean is? Another word for the mean in chat? Anybody?
We're not referring to your bullies, guys.
Not the mean people. Don't put a name. Offense, yes. Turn your microphone on. Tell us.
Hello.
Hey, Offense, how are you?
Oh, okay. A mean is a number that appears a lot.
Close. That is going to be the second one down, which is the mode.
Oh.
No problem. While you're with me, let's talk about it. Okay. So if the one you're thinking of, which is the number that occurs the most, is the mode. So when you think of occurs the most and mode, those 2 words, most and mode, go together, then what could the mean be? Second guess. What about median? Do you know what the median is? I'll give you a clue. So you have a class of people that get test scores and you want to find the mean test score for the class. What are you trying to do?
Okay, let me think.
The word starts with an A.
Hi.
Offensive. You want to take one more guess?
I think I'm good.
You're going to pass on to the next person. No worries. All right. When you hear it, you're going to remember. Who said hi? Someone else in the chat said hi. Or someone else said hi. Who's that?
I think it was Bontle, yes.
Bontle, speak to us. Is your microphone on? Can you speak to us?
Yes.
What is the mean, do you think?
I mean, but I know how to calculate the mean.
All right. Tell us how you calculate it.
The mean, you add, like, let's say, like in a classroom, we have like 50 learners, and then their marks got the mark out of 50. You're gonna take all those marks, you're gonna like them and divide with the total number of learners.
Very good. Exactly how you calculate it. Good. All right. Very good. Thank you very much. That was excellent. Yes, the words popping up in chat starts with an A. It's average. Okay, so if you get a whole lot of marks in class and you want to work out the mean mark, you're working out the average mark. And like you just heard, you're going to add all the marks up together and make a sum of the marks, the sum of all the totals of the marks. And then you're going to divide by how many learners there were. All right, very good. All right, who would like to talk about the median? Anybody?
Somebody.
Anybody? Raise your hand. Ah, there we go.
We have Simpiwe, right?
Simpiwe, talk to us. Simpiwe, are you there?
Just unmute Simpiwe.
Just unmute. If you can find that button there, just unmute for us and then talk to us. I think we've lost Simpiwe. I think he's shy. He's trying to find he's trying to find the unmute button. All right, Belusha, that's a good answer there. The middle number. Okay, remember this topic is measures of central tendency. So yes, the middle number in the set. Okay, now let's just see how smart you guys are. Teacher Monique says you guys are on the money. Well done, Tamia. Can you tell me what you have to do to the data set to find the middle number, the median? So median middle, mode most, and mean is average. Someone's raising their hand. Ayabonga.
I think it was a mistake because it disappeared
Okay.
now.
All right. Ayabonga Shah. Simpiwe, you there? Ayabonga? I think we've lost them. What do we have to do? Arrange them. Good. So Velusha asked, what must you do to the numbers, the data sets, to find the median? So there's something special you have to do to find the median. You have to arrange the numbers in order. And some people on chat are saying in ascending order. You can also put them in descending order as well, as long as they're in order. Okay, but usually we put them in ascending order from smallest to biggest. So you must remember that. So for the median, very good, Velusha. For the median, you have to arrange the numbers first. And when you get this question in the matric paper, they usually ask for the median. The median is a common question, so you're praying to the math literacy gods that you're going to get the data set in order already. If not, you're going to have to spend more time to put those numbers in order, which it takes up a lot of time. And if the median, to calculate the median is a 2-mark question, you're going to do a lot of work for 2 marks. Okay. So it's good to check the data set when it comes to you in the question. Is it in order? Yes. Fantastic. Half the job's done. All right. So let's put some keywords here that we can remember. So the mean starts with an A, the average. All right. The mode and most go together. All right. So this is the one that occurs the most, the number that occurs the most in the data set. So mode, most go together. Median, middle go together. All right. So if you guys can link up these actions or words with these M words here, measures of central tendency, you'll know what to do. Like we couldn't remember the word average, but we know how to work it out. So if you can link up the word average with mean, then you'll know what to do. All right. So the first part is figuring out which one of these are they asking. So mean, average, mode, most, median, middle. Okay. So how do we work out the mean set of data? Like was explained to us, you find the sum of values over the total number of values. All right, so that keyword there, sum, you need to add up the all the values in the data set. All right, which takes time. This is the issue with data handling. There's a lot of calculations that take time here, so you've got to try and be as efficient and as fast as possible when doing these calculations. Okay, so I'm going to do one with you and show you that when you get a data set, depending on the size of the data set, if the numbers are in order, can really make this job tedious. Now, I've got 2 data sets on the screen there. I hope you can see them. We've got class 1 and class 2. Okay, now just for an example, right? I'm going to cheat a bit here. I'm only going to take the first row of the data for class 1. You can do it with me if you want. I'm only going to take from 10 to 50. I'm not going to do the whole lot. Just from 10 to 50. Okay, we're going to look at only that class there. All right. So I'm going to get my calculator out. And I'm going to show you what we do in the calculator. Okay, so we need to have the sum on the top. So it's 10 plus 18 plus 25 plus 26 plus 33 plus 37. You can check my answers as we go. Plus 43 plus 47 plus 50. Okay, so we've got the sum at the top. all the numbers added up. And now we come to the bottom. How many do we have? I need to count on my screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we've got 10 values. I've summed them up in the numerator, put 10 in the denominator, and hit enter. All right. And you can see if your answer, I'm getting 33,1. You can check on your side if you're getting the same. I'm getting 33,1, and I'm looking at my answer now to check, is it correct? If this answer wasn't 33,1, if it was like 60, there would be something wrong, because these numbers are in order here from 10 up to 50 in ascending order. There are no numbers bigger than 60. So the average for this group of numbers cannot be bigger than 50. All right, it's got to be somewhere in the middle. This is why we call them measures of central tendency. So it's a value that represents the middle of the data set, not the lowest or the highest, but somewhere in the middle. Okay, and because the first 10 numbers are put in ascending order, we can kind of see in the middle there, we've got like 33, 37, and my average is 33,1. So we can make a quick judgment on the answer you get in the calculator. Are we on the right track? If my answer here was 60, then I'm doing something wrong. All right, I obviously haven't put the right number in the denominator, or I've put a mistake up in the top. And it's so easy to make a mistake in entering your numbers in the calculator. The more numbers you have to enter, the more likely you are to make a silly mistake. It happens to everyone. So just be very, very careful when you put the numbers in. Okay, it takes practice. The more you practice, the better you get at it. Okay, so there's an example of how to calculate average. We sum all the numbers up and we divide by how many numbers there are. All right, and we get 33,1. Are there any questions so far? I'm sure everyone's good with calculating the average or the mean. All right, if there are no questions, then can I get you guys to do the mean for class 2? I'm going to ask you to do the whole thing. All right, practice typing in those numbers. Let me zoom in a little bit here. All right, there they are. Class 2 is the second table at the bottom. All right, so it's this class here, class 2. Yes, good question. The teacher does 1 row and we have to do 2. Yes, we're practicing, yeah. All right, so if you can, please do two rows, all the numbers in the data set, okay? And then I'll do it as well. And then we'll see if our answers are the same. All right. I'll give you guys a minute or two to do that. Just use the calculator. All right, I'm sure we've got some answers there. Yep, there we go.
Ooh, Velusha is on
Velusha.
a roll today. I
All right,
am loving the energy. Keep it up.
all right. Velusha's got 279. Velusha, just check that number because there are no values in the data set above. There might be the sum, but there's no values in the data set that are above about 65. So that looks pretty big. Just check your calculator and the values on there. All right, our CP's got 50. That's looking okay. We got 45. We're getting different answers, yeah. And I'm sure the difference is an error in punching in the numbers. It's so easy to make an error there. So we got 50.39, we got 45.35, 48.38, 50.38. Oh, we're getting all kinds of different numbers. 50.38 again. Ah, there's Velusha. I think there was a division that needs to be done there. 50.38. So it looks like 50.38 is common. We got 50.39. So maybe there's a rounding difference there. We'll have to have a look at it. All right, so we got some values out. Keep your value on your calculator. let's see what we get if I do mine. And you got to check my numbers as we go here. All right, so I need a fraction, and I'm going to add them up. So I got 41 plus 43 plus 43 plus 46 plus 47 plus 48 plus 49 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 52 plus 53 plus 55 plus 56 plus 59 plus 60 plus 65 plus 40. All right, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Huh, that's tricky. I thought it was 10 like the first table, but there's 9 in the row. 9 times 2 is 18. That's tricky. That's sneaky. All right, so 18 altogether. Let's see. 50.38. Okay, so we've got 50.38 here, if I'm not mistaken. So we're looking at the second decimal place, which is an 8. And the number next to it is also an 8, which is above 5. So that second decimal 8 needs to change. It needs to become a 9. So it needs to become a 9. All right, so 50.39. Okay, round it off. All right, now I want to show you guys what the markers are looking for. Okay. What often happens is students know the method and they write out that whole numerator with all those numbers in it. You do not have to write out that whole numerator. Okay. In fact, probably the better thing to do is to come down here. Let me delete the fraction and add up. Oh, let's see. It's one thing, or I'll put it over 1. And add up all the numbers, which are 331. So the sum of all the numbers are 331. So let me just put this here. So the mean is equal to 331. This is the sum. That's what they want. They want to see you adding all the numbers up and then put 18 as your denominator. Now this number at the top, when you show, because you have to show your calculations, this number at the top, you do not have to write 41 plus 43 plus 43 plus 46. Don't write that whole long thing. Do that on the calculator. Show the sum here as 331, and then underneath put in your 18 for how many numbers there were in the data set. So don't write out in your answer script every single number that you've added up. Just put the sum there. They want to see that, right? This is a 2-mark question. So 1 mark for subbing into the formula correctly, and then 1 mark for your answer, which we said was, let's put this in a fraction, 331 over 18 is equal to, wait, that's not right. All right, I have to do it again. 41 plus 43 plus 43 plus 46 plus 47 plus 48 plus 49 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 52 plus 53 plus 55 plus 56 plus 59 plus 60 plus 65 plus 40. Why are they giving me syntax error? I'll just put it over 1. 907, so that value was wrong. My apologies. So it's 907 on the top. Okay, so that's what they want to see is the sum, and then just divide by 18. So if I divide this by 18, we should get the same answer again. There we go, 50.39. All right, and I'm going to use not an equal sign. I'm going to use a sign that says almost equal to show that I've rounded off there. You don't have to worry about that sign. Are there any questions? All right, well done, Asipe. Good stuff. Okay, so we round off to 2 decimal places. Show the second decimal, which was 8, and there was an 8 next to it, so that becomes 50.39. All right, so tips for this. There's a lot of calculator work. What you can do is add up all the numbers and press equals and put that total in, like we got 907 here, and then take that answer and divide by 18. They want to see that fraction and the numbers in it, and then go straight to the answer and round off to 2 decimal places. Okay. All right, if there's no questions, we're going to move on to the median. All right, now I want to show something with the median. Okay, I'm going to quickly create a data set here, create my own one. So let's do this. Let's do 2, 3, 5, 7, 12, 13, 13, 15. I want you guys to watch carefully now. All right. So this is a data set in ascending order. It's in order. If they don't give it to you in order for the median, you're going to have to put it in the order, unfortunately. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got an even number in our data set. Okay. Who can tell me how we can find the median in this data set of 8 numbers? Can anyone raise their hand and talk to us on the microphone? Anyone feeling brave?
Ooh,
Bontle.
Bontle. And Ayabonga.
All right, Bontle, talk to us, please.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
To the even number.
Yes.
When we want to find the middle number in the even numbers, we're gonna get two middle
Very
numbers.
good.
We take those two middle numbers, we add them together, and we're gonna divide by 2.
Excellent. Perfect. Well done. All right. So let's quickly see how that works. So an easy way to do this to make sure that you don't miss anything is to cross out the numbers as you go. 1 on the left, 1 on the right. 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Left, right. And then we see that we have 2 numbers left in the middle. So for an even data set, you're going to get 2 numbers left in the middle. And like Mortley said, you need to add these 2 numbers up and divide by 2. Okay. So for the median, in this case, they want to see this. You're going to say plus 12, 7 plus 12 divided by 2. So 7 plus 12 is 19 divided by 2. What's that? 9.5. Okay, let's check on the calculator. So 19 divided by 2, 9.5. All right. So if you have an even data set, remember this. If you have an even data set, you're going to have 2 numbers in the middle, and you have to find the average of those 2 numbers. So you add them up and divide by 2. Okay. Very good, Simpiwe. Yes. All right. Let's remove all this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restore. Oh, let's do this. Well, this is easier. Just undo. I'm going to restore our data set and I'm going to change it slightly. Okay. So all I'm going to do now is add another number to the end, which is 17. Now we have an odd data set. All right. So in the odd data set, when you do this task of canceling either side and getting to the middle, you'll find one number in the middle, and that will be your median. All right. Excuse me, don't need to calculate. So 2, 17, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. There we go. So in the number there in the middle number, that is our median. We don't need to calculate it. The median just equals 12. Okay, very good. You guys are on the money. Teacher Monique was right. Smart kids. All right, so for odd data set, you're going to find one number in the middle. For an even data set, you take the 2 in the middle, you add them up and divide by 2. Okay. All right, so let's do this now with, let's do this now with our data set. I'll tell you what, let's make it quick and easy. I'm not going to do 2 rows. We're just going to do the top row. Okay, so in actual fact, let me take away this bottom row here. So don't look at the bottom row. I only want you to work out the median with the top row. And if you look at it carefully, it's in order already. Okay, so don't look at the bottom row. Just look at the top row. It should be quick. The answer should pop up very quickly for this one. So it's just the top row only. There we go. Good. Well done. The answer should be quick for this one. So just the top row, not both rows, just the top one. There we go. Good. Well done, Tamir. Well done, Alicia. Well done. Good, good, good. All right, you guys have got it. Okay, so I hope you checked to see if it was an even or odd data set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's an odd data set. We're going to find one in the middle. So you guys didn't even cancel. You just looked at it. Well done. I'm canceling. I've got it in front of me. So I'm canceling all the numbers and I found the 47 there is the middle. All right. So the median for this data set is 47. All right. Now, just a quick thing. Median, middle. What's interesting about this is that if the data set is in order and you find the middle of the data set, you can then say that half the numbers are above that number. So there's half the numbers above 47 and half the numbers below 47. Okay, which means 50% of the data is above 47 and 50% of the data is below 47. Just an interesting fact to remember. Okay, so you got half above the middle and half below the middle. Just remember that. Okay. Right, median's quite easy if it's an odd number. If it's even, you're going to have to do a calculation. Just don't forget that. Mode, even easier. All right, I'm going to do this because it's the easy one. Mode, you just find the number that occurs the most. So if I look at our data set, I'm sure you guys already saw it. What can you see as the mode here? Yes, well done. Mode, the one that occurs the most. All right, good. Answers are coming in thick and fast. Good. Yes, we have something that's trying to trick you. We've got 243s. So if you looked at the beginning of the data set and you saw 243s, you might put that answer down first, but you better go through all the numbers and check. Yes, we've got 350s over here. So that is our mode. Okay. So mode, well, let's do it the same color as the others. So mode is equal to 50. Now, what do we do if this first number here wasn't 41, but was also 43? What do we do then? Bimodal. Oh, well done. Bimodal, 50 and 43. Good. So it's bimodal. Bar means two modes, 50 and 43. Very good. You guys are on the money. These are smart kids here.
Yeah, no, hey, we have a very strong group here.
All right, good. Okay, so often to present that, you could list them like this. So 50 and 43. Okay, so those are the two modes. It is bimodal. Very good. All right. So now that we've gone through the calculations, we all know how to do them. It's time to practice. It's very easy, not complicated. It's purely practicing how you are going to approach getting through these questions as quickly and efficiently as possible, because each of these are 2-mark questions. You don't want to wait too much time. Mode will be easy. The median, if it's an odd data set, will be pretty easy. Average is going to take some time depending on how big the data set. And just remember, for median, if the data set is not in order, you're going to unfortunately have to put it in order. Okay, so let's see what data set you had. Don't worry about question D. Let's see what data set you have over here. All right, Ella and Jerome sell cushion covers to tourist shops and other retailers. The totals for their sales are shown below. We've got Ella and Jerome's sales for 12 months of the year. How many cushions they sell. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see that these numbers are not in order. That's very unfortunate, but it's good practice. So you practice for the worst case scenario, and then if the numbers do come up in order in the exam, it's a lot easier. Okay, so let's pick. In fact, the first question here is write dates in ascending order. We're going to have to do it if they ask us for the median. Don't do it if they don't ask for the median. Only if they're asking for the median. So let's see. Determine the mode, calculate the mean, determine the median. There it is. All right. So we have to put the data set in order. Okay. The question says determine the median for the set of data for Jerome. Question 4. Do they say for the other person? Ella? No. So we only need to put in Jerome's data set in order. So I'm going to leave the data set on the screen there. And I want you to quickly put that in order so that we can do the median later on in question 4. All right, I'll give you a minute to do that. Write it down somewhere. because we're going to need it for when we calculate the median. Oh, someone's already got an answer. I wonder if they're looking at the data set and just picking out. I wonder if they put it in ascending order first. Let's see. 115. What's next? 130 looks like it's next. And then 135. 185. Oof, it might even be right. 185. 195. Oof, see, I made a mistake. 190 first. And then 195. Then what do we have next? 205, 210. And then 215, 230. All right. We got two different answers for the median. All right, we're going to check that question 4. So our data set is now in order.
Dale,
Yes,
just
made a
quickly
mistake.
check when you arrange it in ascending order. There are 205s for Feb and
I've
June.
just crossed one off there now. Just see that. Sure. You see how easy it is to make a mistake. That's why this section in the exam can be tricky. These questions aren't difficult,
They
but they
just
can be
trick you a lot.
tricky. Yeah, it's when you deal with a lot of numbers, the chances of error increase. So they hopefully keep the data set short. All right, and they hopefully give it to you in order because this just takes up time and can bring errors. All right, so let me count my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, I've got 12 numbers in order. All right. Okay, so there's my data set in the correct order now. Write the data is in correct order. I've got it. Can I move this down? No. All right, write the data is in correct order. I've got it there. Determine the mode. Let's do question 2. Determine the mode. Nice and easy. I've got 205 and 205. Looks like 205 are the only ones that are the same. So 205 for question 2. Banele, yes, you want to ask a question? Talk to us, Banele.
The question says the set of data for Ella.
Which one are we doing? Jerome. Ah, okay. That's fine. Don't worry. We're just practicing here. And it's Ella and Jerome, actually. We're not going to do both of them. It's just going to take up too much time. So I've got Jerome's here. So, oh, I see what you're saying. For the data set for question 2 is Ella. Okay, well, let's have a look and see if we can't spot it for Ella. There's 110, 110, 110. And we've got, that looks like that's it, 110. All right. So this is for Jerome. I'll put a J here. And for Ella, this is the one they want. Mode is 110. All right, good stuff for those people that put 110. Okay, calculate the mean of the set of the data run off the nearest for Ella. All right, so I'll show you Ella's data. Let's see how fast you guys can calculate the mean for Ella. All right, so I've got a sum of 1705. Got a sum of 1705. Whoops. All right. Let's see. 1705. I put that over. We've got 10 in that group, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, 12. We've got 12 there. I've got a different number, 142. 155. Let me check mine again. All right, let's check it again. $200 plus 190 plus 95 plus 100 plus 110 plus 205 plus 185 plus 110 plus 110 plus 190 plus 210 plus 220. 195, so I must have made a mistake. Let's put 195. 195, and then underneath we should have 12. 160. Right, let's check out totals at the top. That's the most important thing because we know we're dividing by 12. So I'm going to do it a third time. So 200 plus 190. I'm doing L as one. 200 plus 190 plus 95 plus 100 plus 110 plus 205 plus 185 plus 110 plus 110 plus 190 plus 210 plus 220. I get 1925 as the sum. Ayabonga. Yes, tell me what you see.
Sir,
What's wrong?
for the first 110, you didn't add it into the
Let's
calculation.
check. Let's check.
I don't know
Let's check.
if you misplaced it.
All right, so
or-
there's my numbers there.
You
200.
said, mm-hmm.
The other numbers there. 200, 190, 95, 100, 110.
I think it was
Two-
for the first one.
All right, for the
Okay.
first one. Okay, so this must be correct then. So this must be correct. This 1925 must be right. I'll do it one more time.
Okay.
We're gonna double check. I'm gonna do it one more time. So
Because you
200.
always have 1,000 and
Please repeat that, Ayabonga.
What value are you getting? What total are you getting, Ayabonga?
I got 1,705, and then I divided that by 12.
All right, let's check. Let's do it one more time. You guys also check. We're checking one more time. 200 plus 190 plus 95 plus 100 plus 110 plus 205 plus 185 plus 110 plus 110 plus 190 plus 210 plus 220.
You got them all now.
I'm sure I got them all. 1925. It's got to be right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, it's got to be right. So 1925 we're accepting, and then we need to put that in the fraction. So 1925, 12 divided by 12. Okay, 160.42. Right, so let's write the sum out. And they want us to round up to a whole number here. You see that? They're trying to be tricky here. Okay, so the mean is equal to 1925. You see, they can check how you did it by looking at your values there. Also, when you do a test, the teacher can see, all right, you just made a slight error in your sum or your denominator is wrong. So it's good to show that fraction. It's always good to show your sum. So 160, running up to a whole number. So we're going to round down to 160, hey? So 160. Yes. All right, good. I'm seeing a lot of 160s. And they said a whole number. I don't think you guys saw that part of the question. It's fine. They said a whole number there. All right, so we're going to leave it as 160. Okay, so you see here with this calculation, it's simple. It actually isn't difficult to do. It's not simple, not difficult to understand. the error creeps in. It's human error. So number one, you're hoping this data set is small. You're hoping the data set is in ascending order. It makes life a lot easier for you. So when you're putting those values in, be very, very careful. Now, in an exam, you're pressured for time. It's 2 marks. You shouldn't really spend more than 2 minutes on this, but you can save time for things like the mode, because the mode is quick. If it's in ascending order, you can pick up the mode straight away, so you can save time there. So what I suggest, if you know that in this section in the exam, there's a chance for human error, especially if the data set is big, put a star next to this and write there check. Write the answer out. Maybe you get 142 or 160, whatever. Put a star next to this and say check. It's just something you have to check. Don't check it now. Don't go over it too many times now. Come back to it when you finish the rest of the exam. You come back to this question and you just go over it one more time just to check. Okay, so don't waste too much time on it, but I suggest you check. It's a place where human error can creep in. Okay, all right. Now we're going to move on to question 4. Determine the median for the set of data for Jerome. Now we've ordered Jerome's numbers already, so they're there on the screen. Whoops. This eraser is big. So I don't understand how, so you go to the previous question again. You're talking about the mean, Volusia, the average that we've just done now? Just type in the chat there. You're talking about question 3 that we've just calculated now. Just put in chat there. That's the one you want me to go over again. Right, so there's the data set on the screen. I'll show you now. There's a data set. We're looking for the median. Blue, so just put into chat which question you want me to go over, and I'll go over it for you. There's 12. It's an even data set. Just be careful of that. All right, well done. Fast answer. Very good. We're sure.
Yeah, we could always trust on Briganto to give us like quick answers.
192.5. Okay, good. All right. Okay, the answers are coming through now. Good. All right, we've got a few minutes left, so I want to just do this one quickly. So we've got 12 numbers in the data set. I'm going to use blue. Cross off, one on each side. One there, one there. Left, right, left, right, left, right. You can count as well. If you know there's 12 numbers, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know there's 6 on the other side, so the 6th and the 7th number, if you want, you can do it like that. But crossing off is probably the safest way to do it, especially if the data set's big. Crossing off is an easy one. So we can see there's 2 numbers in the middle, 190 and 195. So when we determine the median, we show them, we say it's 190 plus 195 divided by 2, and this is the middle, which is 192,50. Okay. All right, let's check the next question. Determine the month of the year in which Ella sold the least amount of cushions. The least amount of cushions. The smallest amount of cushions. Now, if it's an order, it's really easy to see. But it's not an order. So we're just going to have to eyeball the data set. Now we've got hundreds everywhere. We've got either 200 or 100 everywhere, but we only have a 90 over there. So that looks like the smallest one, hey? Yeah, March. Very good.
They spotted that one very quickly.
Very quickly. Yeah, because you got 200s and hundreds, and the 95 stands out like a sore thumb. So determine which month, not which value is the least, which month. So we must say the month of March. Okay. Determine during which 2 months would most tourists visit the tourist shops that Jerome sells. So which 2 months, the most tourists? Obviously, we're relating the most tourists to the most sales. So in which 2 months will he have the most sales? So we're looking for the highest sale. And if they're the same, then they're both the same number. But it's here at the end. Okay, so 215 and 230 are the two highest sales, so the two highest months. So 215, I'm looking for it. It is November. And 230 is December, which makes absolute sense. Tourists will come towards Christmas time. Okay. Well done, guys. Well done. Okay, so when your data is in order, it helps, very easy to see the most and the least. Very good, very good. Makes absolute sense, doesn't it? Tourists will come towards the end of the year around Christmas, and also people buy each other presents around Christmas time. Okay, let's see what the next question is. Ah, that's it. Right, there is another exercise here. If you guys want to, you can practice with this data set. So just take a screenshot of this. There's another data set. It looks big, eh? It looks big and bad, and it's not in order. So it's a hard one to practice with, especially for the median and the mean, but there's a data set that you can work with. Okay, so let's take a picture of that. And if you want some practice, you can use this data set that's on the screen right now.
Dale, we have one question in the chat. It is about the median. I thought we add a 0 to a decimal only when dealing with money. Why, sir, did you then add a 0 to 192,5?
Good question. So it's just a force of habit. I just always show two decimal places, just a force of habit. Yes, it's usually only with money. You won't be wrong if you put if you leave the 0 off, but the question paper does say two decimal places. I just like showing the 0, even though it doesn't really make a difference. I just show it. I let people see it. It's just a force of habit. I always show 2 unless I'm told otherwise. That's the instruction in the beginning of the exam. Always show 2 unless told otherwise. So I always show 2, even though it's a 0. You don't have to. You won't get marked wrong if you don't show that 0. But if you practice not showing 2, then what happens when by mistake you don't show a second decimal when you need to? All right, so if you practice something a lot, you get used to it. So I just keep practicing showing 2 until the question says otherwise. I always show 2. It's just a force of habit. Okay, you don't have to. All right, any other questions, guys and girls? Anything you're not sure of? Just remember, this is a tedious section in the exam. Unfortunately, with these big data sets, there is room for human error. That's the only concern. The questions are easy. It's just human error that creeps in here. All right. And now it's time for our